What's that?
He said, you said gently off the cloud, and I've just dived straight into the ocean. There was nothing gentle about coming off that cloud.
There was nothing gentle? Okay, that's good.
It was like dive straight in.
Okay.
Straight into the ocean, yeah.
Okay. We'll go into the ocean now. Continue to speak on what you're experiencing, viewing, all that, till we get to where we need to arrive at. We're grateful to the heavens. You continue to be guided and shielded and protected by the heavenly hosts. We're grateful, we're thankful.
So I'm going to relate this to a hotel that I am aware of that is under the sea. It's called Poseidon. And this is what this place feels like. It's completely clear glass and you can see everything out in the ocean.
You said you are at a hotel that you are aware of.
I'm aware of in this realm that I live in. Yeah. I'm aware of. It's called, I'm pretty sure it's called Poseidon.
Where is it at?
Which I haven't thought about.
Where is it located? Poseidon. What country? What location?
I think it's somewhere near the Philippines. I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around Asia. So I'm just going to put all that. I'm pretty sure it's around Asia.
Okay. So what you're looking at now is like that hotel?
From what I've seen from the photos, yes, it feels like it's like you can see out all the fish or whatever's going on around. You can see, but those looking in cannot see it.
Okay. All right. So that's where you're at now. What else is there? As you arrive there, it feels like a hotel. Are there other beams there? Anything else? Describe a bit more about it.
Yeah, it's just like normal life. Just like a normal city, normal living. Just like you've traveled through a vortex or a portal that just transports you. And if you're not of the right frequency, you cannot enter. It's just like you hit a wall.
Yeah. Very good. So now that you arrived there, continue to let the scene open for you now and begin to continue to speak on it.
So this is where many of what has been seen, UFOs, flying objects, crafts have been traveling in. They just travel through and just come straight in and just park their vehicles.
Where do they park them?
And
relax and breathe. We're going to get to that now. I asked for permission from the heavenly hosts. There's been a lot that's been said on this subject matter. We're going to see some of the examples of where the ship that's been seen that come into the water. Puerto Rico is one of the places that's been quite famous for this. I'm going to count 3 down to 1. You'll see an example of a ship coming in, an example where they go. If it's this place, if it's somewhere else or similar, know it, say it. We take permission from the heavenly hosts of what is allowed for us to be viewed. We ask for permission. 3, 2, 1. Then you speak on it.
So do you want the location first?
Whichever one you want to say first, that's fine. Whatever you're able to decipher and see and know, just speak on it. If it's location that you know of, say it. If not, just say, describe what you have and anything else you want to say on it. And how the ship was parked and so on. And see the beams and so on, more details.
So I got multiple locations. I got one in
exactly right.
in Antarctica. Okay, so one in Antarctica. The other place that came up was Honolulu, so I'll just say that it's Hawaii.
Yeah, of course.
Rather than be that specific. There's something over in the Dead Sea. I'm not getting any more. I just
good. That's enough.
Like
that's enough right there.
Yeah.
So now let's see them. Let's see the ship as a park, as you said. See an example or examples as we're allowed to view how they park.
Okay, so Oh, how they park. So it's,
how they come into the water first, and then how they park. Because people have always wondered why and how they don't crash into the ocean and like normal craft wood that we have.
it's just an opening. It's like it knows it's coming, a magnetic force, and it just opens up like a hole. And once it goes through, it immediately shuts off. Like a perfect dive. There is not any ripple, nothing left.
A ripple. Yep. So you part to side.
Literally like the, yeah, it's literally like a port, like the ocean's part, and it just goes straight through. And yeah, it's like it never even existed there.
Okay,
and
so once it then goes through, then what happens? Let's follow the craft and we'll see what happens. As much as we're allowed to view.
Then it just comes straight through like there's, I don't know if it, let's say that.
When you count 3 down to 1, you will have the clarity that you require, breathing with a wide breath of source. 3, 2, 1. You have clarity.
So, so it changes form, shape to come into our reality, our dimension, because of the field or density that we are in. And then once it goes back into its normal
realm,
yep, it changes form once again. So, yeah, so it's like a normal vehicle, how they would travel around in this dimension. I'll call it a dimension.
Yeah.
And they just park like you'd park a normal vehicle, just normally.
And let's see some of the beams and some of the craft alight out of the crafts or the vehicle themselves, so you can see what
so
you have.
I'm seeing tall white beings. Everything is light about them. They're white skin, light white hair, very blondish, like a very Nordic, also albino. But more Nordic. There is also in between the two, albino, Nordic.
Okay.
Very poised, very tall. Their energy is very light. Very affirmative, like they are of authority, high authority. Well spoken, just everything about them is of how you would say top people in the military speak. There's just an air about them.
Yeah.
And it's not just them, there's also other beings down there as well. They're working together.
Let's see the other ones that they're working with. Describe them. 3, 2, 1. Also their attire, how they normally would be attired. We're grateful to the heavens for allowing.
Official uniform. Everything just feels like an official uniform.
Okay.
So the tall whites are in blue uniform.
What's it?
I'm also seeing blue. So it's very similar to what is on Star Wars, Star Trek.
Okay.
Just like a one piece.
Yeah, like overall type one piece. Yeah.
Yes, long sleeve and a red star on. I think depending on their level of
authority.
Authority, yeah. I was going to call it officialdom. I don't think if that's a word. Officialdom. I'm also seeing blue beings, but very similar to what the avatars looked in that film.
Yeah.
But there's almost that feline shape. That I'm just seeing that nose. The very feline nose. I'm also seeing that little gnome-like race. They're not as small as the garden gnomes we have, but again, they're much smaller to us. I would say maybe knee height, maybe hip height.
Yep.
And they seem to be like the workers, the ones that do all the small little jobs that need to be done.
They need to be done for who?
Just like things that for all these different beings. So that they're like
How
they're like the cleaners that.
Okay. How they attired?
You know,
Are they like the gnomes that we have? Because the gnomes that we have usually have those ripped up pants sometimes, and they kind of.
Like this, what are they called? Like the 7 dwarfs. That's what they look like.
On their feet, what do they wear? If they wear anything? Because you said 7 dwarfs, that's why I have you describe it.
Yeah. They're like slippers, but it's like their work boots.
But they're like sleepers?
Yeah, they're like slippers, like pointed slippers.
Do they have toes? See,
I can't see that.
Okay, all right. Hair.
Hair. Dark brown hair.
Dark brown hair.
Yeah, short.
They all look the same with the hair?
No, some of them got orange, some of them got yellow, white.
So the actual way they are dressed, you say it's like Snow White, as in.
If I can remember the movie, but they just like like they're workers is how I meant per se to describe them.
How are they clothed? They clothed uniformly like their masters in the blue, for example, or they wear different attire.
Different attire.
Describe some of the ones you're able to perceive easily enough. If they're the same, then say they're the same and just describe one of them. Otherwise, just couple will be fine, just to see what they look like and what they wear. The gnome-like beings.
Yeah, so no, they definitely look different to the other authority beings. They're still respected even though they do mundane jobs.
All right.
Because of that fact that they do keep everything going.
All right.
But they're very simple. They're just simple. They're happy to do what they're told to do.
All right.
What are they wearing?
I'm going to count 3 down to 1. Breathe with the white bread of souls. You have more clarity in a moment. Just breathe with the white bread of souls. We're grateful to the heavens. 3, 2, 1. You have the clarity. See very clearly now. It is
okay, so they're wearing like worker bottoms, like a green, blue-green. Actually, they're in overalls. Some of them are in bottoms, some of them are in overalls. Most of them are in overalls. Like what painters wear.
What color?
Blue.
Good. There you go. And they're wearing the slippers.
And they're wearing they look like slippers, but it's like they work boots.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, let's see a bit more about the life in this place now. Now that you're there, you say it's like you can see through glass, but people that are out there can't see into it. It's in the ocean, deep in the ocean. Let's see what life is like further in this place and describe it. Whatever we're permitted to see, we're going to go to it now so you can give a description, what life is like here. 3, 2, 1.
It's beautiful. world that we have above ground, they have this in the ground or inside the hollow earth, if I want to call it that way. Everything is so clean, it hasn't been polluted. It's clean air, it's clean water, it's animals everywhere. Everything is just beautiful, almost like a scene out of a cartoon. Where nature and humans, if I want to call them that for now, just come together. There's enough for all. Technology is also a lot more advanced. Things that are very mundane to us are, in the opposite, things that we need to do to survive are not even relevant in this place because the technology or the way of being, living is so much more advanced than ours. And we still live very much like cavemen with the way that we still do some things compared to this reality. It's a very flourishing way of life. Families, children, and life is a lot longer here as well.
Let's see about the average lifespan in this place.
Between 200 to 300 years.
All right.
500 for some of the elders.
Continue to see more about the place. Their buildings or what their dwellings. What is it like?
Their buildings are like in mountains. They live in the earth. I don't actually see structures of buildings as we have. I just see mountains. I see, I can't actually see the buildings themselves.
I asked for permission from the heavenly hosts, if it is permitted. Once again, I ask for permission from the creator of all things, heavenly hosts of light and love realms, if it is permitted to be able to have a viewing of some of the dwellings that these beings live in, so we just have a knowledge of what it looks like. We're grateful, we're thankful. We're not trying to pry into what we're not supposed to pry into, just to get an idea. We're grateful, we're thankful. 3, 2, 1. Able to see an idea of one or couple of their dwellings, what it looks like. We're grateful to the heavens for allowing. 3, 2, and 1. You have it now.
Okay, so again, I'm now seeing some structures, but I'm being drawn to go into a mountain of one's home.
Yep.
So again, it is part of nature, but once you go in, it changes form or shape. It's very crystalline. Very simple living. They don't need much here because everything is in abundance. They don't eat like we do.
They don't eat?
Like we do? No.
Let's see what kind of things they consume when they decide to consume anything. Be able to see that as we're doing this. 3, 2, and 1. We're grateful to the heavens for permitting, for allowing. See what things they consume when they do consume something.
It's like a little capsule that has all of the nutrition right down to micro level. And that just gives them all what they need. And liquid, the water that they have is so
enriched,
high vibration. Yes,
enriched,
it's like liquid gold. They just need a drop of that and everything's activated within them.
There's a reason I asked that
it's
question.
Literally liquid gold.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked that question. Yes.
Wow. Can I stay here?
No. You ain't got the visa to stay there. We said we were coming to visit. So, otherwise,
Oh my
immigration will be
goodness.
after you or after us.
Oh,
So we gotta go. We said we could visit for a little while. We gotta finish and get out. We can't stay.
wow. Wow, I know. What a magical place.
In this place that we're looking at right now, let's see if there's, or how do they conceive if they do? In other words, how do they replenish? 3, 2, 1. Get to know how they replenish.
So they don't have the same organs as us.
That's what I was saying, or referring to. Yep, go ahead.
Their children are like, I guess how they do it here on Earth now in vials in cloning, but it's done with the most highest technology, with the most love.
There's no correlation between gender. Let's see that. Relax and breathe. We're gonna get to it now. Dear Heavenly Host, ask the permission. Go ahead.
There is still needed the male-female energy, but they don't need to unite like we do here. It's
That's
a
what I was
different
referring to.
exchange of energy.
That's what I was referring to. Exactly. It is done more so energetically,
Yes.
and then into the test tube of vials after that.
Yeah. And it's not a sterile environment. It's a very loving environment where this child is brought into, created, grown lovingly, and then, it comes into a very loving, supportive environment.
All right.
So the whole process is not how we do it here on Earth.
Let's get to know now. Once again, I take permission from the Heavenly Hosts of Light and Love Realms and Source for all creation. Let's see around what stage of their life they have children or have conceived or have the new ones come in compared to ours, for example. Let's see how that happens or what stage of their life this happens. 3, 2, and 1. You have the knowledge now.
Okay, so you can start conceiving from 70, but it is normally done around 100.
Good. Very good. Do they have a language here? If they do hear some of the, just hear the sound of it. If not, know it. 3, 2, and 1. How do they communicate?
There is a language telepathically. They don't need to speak.
Good. That's what I was referring to. Way of life, as far as education or growing up, get to see and know that now. We're grateful to the heavens for allowing.
Children are an absolute joy here, but of course, as all children, they are mischievous. They're playful. The schooling system is very different to ours. It's individual to each being and nurtured according to what their soul mission is, what they're here for, what they want to experience also, and depending on who their parents are. They learn topics far beyond what we learn. Galaxies, systems, technologies, formulas, plants. They also learn about other races.
Let's see what forms of races they learn about. For example, if humans are part of them, there's a reason I'm asking. 3, 2, and 1. We go to that now. There's a reason I asked, and you already know.
I was like, avoid these types, humans.
We're going to go into that again. Avoid.
Oh my goodness.
What did they say?
Avoid these types, humans.
Let's go to see why they say avoid
Oh
these
my
times.
God. They're just trouble.
Uh-huh.
They are just trouble.
So humans are the ones that says we're one of the ones to avoid. Okay.
Oh my God. Are you sure they're going to let me go out of this? Oh my goodness.
There's a reason I'm asking this.
It's more because they're at a very juvenile state of evolution.
That referring to who? Who's at a juvenile?
Humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Humans. Yeah. Just chaos.
Uh-huh. What's that?
It's like, how do you discipline a whole race of juveniles, let alone one or two?
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And literally their eyes are being rolled. It's like, oh, humans.
They've had a lot of experiences with humans that has not turned out right. That's why. They've had so many experiences with humans that have not turned out right. And that's why. So they now know they're set in their ways that there's just no, you just can't trust humans, and, they're none but trouble. Even when they're good.
And they said...
Go ahead.
They do say, look, there are a few that are the exception, but,
Yeah, but it's not
for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes the one that are exceptions, sometimes down the line have disappointed them. Down the line when they've been in some kind of workings with them.
Yeah.
Something's gone on down the line, then they figure out, okay, even they can be trusted sometimes. Some of them. So.
It's for them. They're seeing it as just a lack of awareness. It's like they've not grown up enough. Yeah. Yeah. So avoid these type. Also be wary of reptilians, Dracos, Archons. Palladians are family. Arcturians are family. And they're saying that there's nothing in this, I don't know how to call it, solar system or sun-star system. They're saying there's many more out of this solar system that we are currently in.
Yeah. Than humans realize.
Yes, absolutely. But more for the education that these children get, it's out of this solar system.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like they've said it before, this is like the ghetto end. Oh my God. Didn't Dolores say that? Ghetto side? Yeah.
Now you know.
This is the hood.
Yep.
And I feel like these beings have been somewhat protected but trapped at the same time in this part of the earth.
Okay.
Because the external earth hasn't been going to plan per se.
Yeah, exactly. That's
They should have already been out here by now, but they still have to stay there and hide in their sanctuary.
They're not the only ones that have had to be this way. Some other sections of the inner earth have had to be the same way. It's just like some of the ones that are up top had to go into the inner earth in the time of Atlantis, which is referred to sometimes, part of it is referred sometimes as Agartha, Shambhala, and they've been there ever since. Because it now can't come back up because up top has been completely polluted now. And they've been there for so long. Yeah, go ahead.
And as you were just saying that, I'm just getting activation of like the Merkaba through all the points of the earth. just right directly through the earth, the shape of the Merkaba. It's all being activated.
Yep. Let's get to see now why that is. I'm going to count 3 to 1. We ask for the heavenly host to assist and the source, the creator of all things. 3, 2, 1. As it's activating now, understand why this is so now.
It's like the earth points are being activated as it, I guess almost like a sleeping earth. It's being awakened.
Yep.
So all the beings here are being triggered to either ascend or to break off.
Yeah. This is the ascension process we've been talking about.
Yeah. I just see it's just activation. As each point comes on, the earth gets stronger. It's like she's coming alive.
Yep. All systems are being switched on right now to begin to fire up. Exactly. It's the firing up of the engine itself of Earth, or the vibration of Earth, and everything else that's within it.
And there are beings watching us to make sure that all of this happens, that nothing breaks down.
These beings that are watching, let's focus on them a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Give a bit more about them.
There are so many. Where do I start? There are a few on the higher council that are making sure, but it's like, literally, it's like, yo, there's something going on. Everyone's just literally flown over or transported over to watch the show.
That's right.
It's like, hey, there's something going on over the other side of the galaxy. Because this has never happened before.
That's right. First time in the history. This is how huge the whole thing is, and most humans are completely on a completely different tangent. But things that are so silly, if they only knew. Many of them would only understand when they get out of the body.
Yeah, and I feel like, although they don't play special, like, so what do you think they're going to do next? It's almost like they're having competitions amongst themselves. Like, hey, what do you think they're going to do? Well, they're almost like placing bets, but I mean, I know that doesn't exist on there,
I was waiting for you to finish this. I was going to say, it's like a placing of bets. To say, I bet you they're not going to do it. I bet you they're going to do something. I bet you this time they're definitely going to do it. Bet you they're not going to do anything. They're still not going to want to do anything. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
And because those beings don't have the same dimension as us, they don't have. They just think differently.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. To them, it's like, how did it get here in the first place? What? They were made to do this? Why did they allow it? Oh, 3,000 people were the ones been controlling the 7.7 billion. They're like, what? And people that are very old, older people are doing this to them, and they can't do anything. It's unfathomable. Exactly.
And some of them feel quite obnoxious. They're just like, stand up, turn around and go, oh, humans.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. Those are the ones that say, I've always said humans are limited. They're the ones I've always said humans are limited.
But you know what? They're like, turn around and go, oh, humans. Like, what are they doing next? So like, they want to turn away, but they still want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
right?
They're still curious, Yeah. Because I know there's always some story or the other. This place has that much stories about it coming out from it all the time. People, all the races, many other races, not all of them, can't believe it. It's like again, yeah.
This is like a daytime TV show.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
Because there's always some kind of drama going on.
Yeah, soap opera.
So, thank you, yeah.
Daytime soap, Days of Our Lives, and things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bold and the Beautiful, but you said Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
We're grateful to the heavens for what we've been gifted. We're thankful. We're grateful. If there is a name for this particular part that we're looking at in this realm, see it or hear the name of it, or both. If there is a name for it, either see it written or say it or both. 3, 2, and 1.
word that's coming up is anahata.
Okay, good. That's it. Very good.
Sounds like,
Isn't
it the heart chakra?
All right. We're grateful to the heavens for what we've been gifted